Hi guys, someone sent me a message recently asking me what advice I'll give to an 18 or 19-year-old who is going through life and wants to understand purpose and wants to do everything God has proposed them to do, and that what would be my advice. And I thought about it, like, what was I doing at 18, 19? Okay, so welcome back to my channel. If you're just seeing this face for the very first time, you're welcome. My name is Fadekemi. Yeah. Okay, so let me just dive right into the story. So when I was 18, 19, I was in I think 300 level, 400 level, no, 300 level actually, because there was an ASU strike that particular year. So that particular year that I was 18, 19 was 300 level. ASU strike happened, and I remember that I had my very first breakfast. You know what they call breakfast? I had my breakfast. Breakfast is Nigeria parlance. Is it parlance they call it now? For having your heartbreak. In fact, let me never. I want to tell you guys the backstory, but there's no need. Let me just tell you, that was when I had my first heartbreak. I remember that I cried that night to sleep because I was like, I can't believe that a man, oh woman, bye. If you don't understand Yoruba, that just means he dragged me in the mud. So that was my first experience, and it pained me, you guys. So at 18, 19, I had my first heartbreak, guys. So I think I'll draw my first lesson from there. I think 18, 19 is where you're at that point for pressure to be in a relationship. I think many teenagers these days, in fact, these days it's from like 13, 14, 12, people are already talking about boyfriend. But I think 18, 19, it dawns on you like, I don't have a boyfriend. And if you're not focused and you don't know what you're doing, you will be carried away and distracted, and you will not continue on the path that you have chosen for yourself. So at 18, 19, the first advice for you is you don't need to date that boy. I know that a lot of women watch me, so I'm just gonna maybe talk from the female aspect. You don't need to date that guy, that man, that boy, whatever. You don't need to if you don't have to. You don't have to date because of the pressure of what people will say, of what because all your friends are dating. You don't have to. I'm one of those people who teach or who preach on dating with purpose, because I saw the difference between dating with purpose in my life and just dating for the fun of it. And some people may say, oh, life is not that serious, just let people date and do what they want to do. But I believe that if you are purposeful in what you're doing, you are more likely to get results. So now I'm at that point where I'll tell you, you don't need to date at 18. You don't need to do try and error. But if you must date, because now I want to be creating balance with my statement. If you must date, I believe that you should date with purpose. Date with the mindset that, okay, both of us know what we're doing. Date with accountability. Who's your mentor? Who's your pastor? Many people don't have mentors, but at least you have a pastor. You have somebody that looks over you in a way in your Christianity. Maybe a Christian group you belong to. Like in a Christian group that I lead, I've seen people tell me, oh, Mama, please, this person. So I'm not their mentor or their pastor, but they're accountable to me in a way, and so they try to be accountable. You know, tell the person that, okay, this is who I'm dating. Both of you, when you're accountable to someone, it's easier to date with purpose. You're not just dating for the fun of it. So that's my first lesson. At 18, 19, date with purpose, or don't date at all. Or if you must, date with purpose. Let both of you know what you're doing, know why you're doing what you're doing. You know that you should be with only a Christian if you're a Christian. You know, all those modalities. It's important. Next thing I'm not going to say is at 18, 19, I didn't particularly have a direction. Even though I was born, or I don't know, I grew up having ambition. I grew up having a great self-esteem, you know, as a young, apart from the fact that I was short, or I am short. No, I'm not short. I'm not too tall. I think that one messed with me a little when I was much younger, but later I fashioned it. So yeah, I think apart from that, I have a very good self-esteem growing up. So I even though I was ambitious and I kind of had a great sense of belonging, knowing, okay, I know that I'll be a great person, I didn't particularly have direction because I wasn't in Christ. I didn't have understanding of Christ. So at 18, 19, I wasn't listening to all the kind of messages that I listen to now. So if you're 18, 19, you're lucky that you're even having that time. When I was 18, there was YouTube, but YouTube wasn't the YouTube now, where there's so many motivation now, inspiring content. YouTube then was more of beauty. The beauty industry was that time on YouTube and all this content. And many of our pastors weren't even like media, they weren't online. So some people had the luxury of meeting great people like Fela Durotoye, other people in their own universities. But in my, I don't know if it's my university, but my point is, at 18, 19, seek out purpose and have a direction. And how can you seek out purpose? Purpose is not when someone starts a business or starts doing, I'm helping. It's not when you're helping the poor, or when you have a foundation, or when people are calling you to come and speak at their events, or when you're growing in your subscriber, or when people are saying, oh, you inspire me. That is not purpose. You can be doing all of that and you're not doing what God will have you do. So I would say that find purpose. And how do you find purpose? By walking in the will of the Father. So at 18, 19, don't think that you're too young to walk in purpose. I think that's one of the mistakes that I can say for my life, and I wish I knew earlier. I wish I walked in purpose earlier. I'm sure that, well, there's no regret in Christ, but yeah, I wish that I did. Maybe if I was working in purpose, I made certain decisions I wouldn't have made at that time. So yes, that's one lesson that I'll say that I want every 18, 19-year-old that watches me, even if you're 20, 21, now is the time to begin to work in purpose. Be conscious of purpose. Be conscious of God, the God factor. Be conscious of walking with Him. Make a resolution in your heart that if I'm not working with God, I'm nothing. If I'm not working with God, I can do nothing. Jesus even says that without me, you can do nothing. I am the vine. You are the branches. The branch will get nutrients, strength, water from the vine. This is another lesson. At 18, 19, some people are at that point where they're pressuring themselves. So there's the one point where there are people that don't even know where they're going. They're just winging it. Then there's the other part of the people that they have understood purpose. They have listened to so many messages from great preachers. Thank God for the great teachers of the word that we have now. But they are now over pressuring themselves. They are now at that point where they're like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, because you saw one babe on Instagram that said that, oh, I did this, and you're not like, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. Calm down. 18, 19, you're just growing. You're still young. There are 25-year-olds that are still working with God. In fact, you're going to be working with God till you're 90, 80, 70. So calm down. I know you want to do big things for God, but calm down. So I think that's another lesson. So while I was ambitious in the terms of career, I wanted a great career path, but in terms of my godliness and my Christianity, I wasn't ambitious at all. I didn't know anything about that, and I'm glad that eventually, the funny thing is, at 19, 20, I now became conscious of the God factor. I became conscious of grace. I started having a passion for the things of the Spirit, for things of the kingdom. And I'm so glad that happened to me. So at 18, 19, finding purpose in God is so important. Another thing I'm going to tell you is be courageous. In your generation, you're going to need a lot of courage to do everything that God will have you do, because people will talk down on you, look down on you, say all sorts at you, and you have to find courage and strength and carry on, or else you will not do everything that God has asked you to do. And you don't want to finish and then be like the unprofitable servant that went to bury the talent that their master actually gave them. So that's one thing I'll also say: be courageous and be ready to do everything that God will have you do. Again, let me speak on purpose quickly again, because I feel so strong talking about that. Purpose is not a destination. It's not where you're going. It is the journey. The journey is the purpose. And to find purpose, your purpose really, as a Christian, the reason why you become a believer is to serve God and to serve humanity, your God. Let me explain that. So in every assignment, we have different assignments. The assignments as pastors, this assignment that I'm doing right now as a YouTuber, I cannot say, oh, my purpose is to be a YouTuber. No, my purpose is bigger than that. My purpose, I'm too much in God. Like, God is too big for me to just say, oh, the reason why I was created was just to be a YouTuber. No, our purpose is in the journey. All the assignments we're doing is for the grand plan of what God is doing. So our purpose is serving God, giving God our all, and then serving humanity, our God. with our godly virtue, our godly knowledge, everything. We're serving humanity. So everything we're doing must point others to Christ. People must see us, see what we're doing, even if we're being accountants, lecturers, professors, pastors, whatever we're doing. At a point, people should be able to say, oh, there's something about you because you're standing out. So as an 18, 19, 20-year-old, I wish I knew this earlier. I wish I knew that purpose is not being called on stage, come and talk about purpose. Purpose is understanding what God has called you to do and doing it per season. Purpose is a journey. And so if you're 18, 19, 20, whatever age you are, I think everyone can learn from this one. Calm down and walk with God. You will understand purpose. That is it. I feel like if you walk with God and you allow Him lead you, purpose will find you. Purpose will seek you. That's how it works. And then it now looks like, oh, you understand, you know what you're doing. But I think it's just really walking with God's plan. So I'll enjoin you. Don't think you're too young to walk in God's plan. At 18, 19, that's one thing that I wish I knew earlier. Don't think you're too young. Don't think you're too young to lead your generation. Some people graduate university at 18. So why are you too young? You're not too young. At 18, you're legal and you can do anything. We'll hold you responsible. You can vote. So at that age, I want you to just focus on God. Focus on spending time praying. This is the time that you have time on your hands. I believe the average 18-year-old is in the university. Some have not even entered university in Nigeria, let's be honest. While some are about to finish university. But most are actually in the university, the average 18-year-old. Maybe not university, but higher education, like College of Education, Polytechnic, University. The average 18-year-old is there. So at that age, I want you to focus more on God. Forget about likability, forget about pleasing people, forget about all that and focus on God. Also invest in your spiritual growth and in your career growth as a person. So at 18, I was investing in my career growth because I was doing 8 years, that's ICANN. So at least that has now paid off in the end, and I'm now here where I am, and I thank God for that. So if you can invest in your take your professional exams, anything that can help you boost your persona, do it. Take classes, the one that you can afford, do. Now another point that I also want to talk about, in this generation there's too much peer pressure. So the next point I'll give you is, don't do past yourself. I think at 18, at a level, you should know what is working for you and what is not working for you. Recently I spoke to some university students when I was telling them that they were new 100 level students, and I told them that, see, there are some people that they will read and they will pass. No, there are some people that they will not read much. They will just attend class, and whatever the lecturer says will stick, and then they will pass. There are some people that they will be in the class, they will read, they will still be struggling. There are some people that they will not even bother reading, right? They'll be fine. Like, everybody knows their own level. There are some people that if they don't read, they don't have to be in the class. Once they read, they will understand. Now you know yourself, so this one is so important. Know thyself. Even in the small things you're doing in your education, in these small things that you're doing, know yourself. You don't have to feel pressured. You see these people on the internet, they're saying that they're influencers. I find that there's so many teen influencers these days that are pressuring our young people. Don't be pressured by all these teen influencers. Yes, some of them are now showing skin online. You're like, is this one 18? Is this one 18 with me? Don't be pressured to live that life because they are living it. Don't be pressured in this social media age to have a large following and all that. Just take it easy with yourself. Everything will fall in place. And this is also in terms of financials. For some of you, your parents are not wealthy enough and you may be tempted. You want to use the latest iPhone. You want all those things, you will use them. When I was 18, 19, I did not have an iPhone. And yeah, I think iPhone 5 came out that time. Now I can afford to buy myself an iPhone. I feel like we don't tell young people this enough. Young people, especially the ones in the university, stop pressuring yourself. You want to use iPhone, you want all these things you want to use, you will use it. You will still use it. You will still turn out fine. You will still be able to afford it legally. Don't rush yourself, especially the women. These days there's so many Yahoo, morality has been decayed, like it's crazy. But I believe that if you're watching this video, it's because you have a sense of purpose and you know what you want to do with your own life. So don't be pressured by what other people are doing. Focus on you. Focus on you, your God. And another thing is surround yourselves with the right mindset, with the right kind of people. I think the kind of people that I surrounded, even though we weren't spiritual like that, we weren't pressuring ourselves. And I thank God for the kind of friends that I had. But I don't think I ever felt pressured by anything that any of my friends had. I never. So walk with people who have sense, so that you too, you'll be all right. I think that's just it. Walk with people who have sense. So yeah, I think I will wrap it up here. If you want me to talk more on this, comment below and list if you can list out all the points I listed as you learned along as you were watching. List it out. Let me see if you were really following. So yes guys, thank you so much for watching. If you watched up to this moment, remember to subscribe, like and share, and I will see you guys in my next video. Subscribing is free. Subscribe.